wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And we are hot on the Talk Beat Jones, and you can get hot too by tuning in. Tell your friends to tune in. Tell your friends to go on social, Facebook, and all the other good modalities, Roku, and Amazon, and Apple. Oh, just do it. Just do it. Just tell them they can tune in right now, and they can get a little bit of this Jones style, that Talk Beat Jones. I got somebody before I even get started real good. Who is this on the phone with me early?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Sounds like the Leo. Is that you from Oakland, California?
That's me, sir.
All right, Leo. Hold on here. We're trying to get going. We're going to get this going. Hold on. Good morning, good evening, good whatever time it may be, but you're with the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones. And can I get your first
Good
name?
morning. This is Michelle Broden, and guess what? It's morning somewhere, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere
Yes.
too.
All right. We are ready to rock and roll. Hold on. Tap. Leo,
Yes,
tap to
sir.
you. We are going to bring the volume because I tapped and everybody goes down, so we'll bring that telephone system back up a little bit because every time I tap with both of you guys, the power goes down. So it's difficult to hear you a little bit. But we're ready. So, Michelle,
Yes.
this was to be your day today.
What's supposed to be my day to day?
So,
We have a lot going on. The teachers are fighting for a contract. Even your college teachers are fighting for a contract.
What? Even
Yes, I believe it's Oakland University.
Oakland University.
In Rochester, Michigan.
Yes, and they're talking about doing what?
They walked out. They're on a strike.
Now, remember, we don't know, for folks who listen to us from around the world, I want to thank my family from around the world for watching, listening, liking, and sharing the Talk Beat Jones program. Remember, tell your friends, they too can join us, and they can call in, and the numbers will be on the screen at some point, and you'll be able to watch and listen. But remember, when those numbers come up, please write them down because they will come off, and we want you to know how to contact the Talk Beat Jones from all around the world. Go right here, Michelle.
Yeah, so I'm in Detroit, Michigan. Hello, family. For the Detroit Public School teachers who are offered the contract, we are waiting for it to be voted on, and that's what we're waiting for.
Okay. Now you're talking about Oakland University?
Oakland University, it was on the news, but I have some professors that work there, and so they're upset that the administration doesn't value their craft and want to reduce their pay. So they are threatening to walk out if they don't get a proper and decent contract offer.
I understand that they want to reduce the pay. I mean, not give them a minuscule raise, but at the same time reduce their benefits, their health insurance, etc., and all of the other things that they're talking about. Everything else is a reduction.
Correct.
So this is for at the time when they're saying teachers are our most important asset, we're saying that at the Oakland University right here in Detroit, Michigan, they're
not
saying that the teachers are not, whereas we can have our low-paid workers go from 7, 9, 10, 11, whatever it was, up to now some people getting $17 to $20 an hour. Why is it that our most valuable asset, our instructors, our teachers, our professors, have to look at not just what they're going to get paid this year, but what type of health benefits are they going to have, and what type of reductions further in the benefits package are they having to deal with? It's not fair.
It's not, but that's called capitalism to the highest. You know that.
Yes. And we are going to come talk to you shortly about the schools here in Detroit and what's going on, but At the same time, we just want to kind of keep kicking a little bit. The Afghan war, we're not going to stay with it very much, but they say is the last plane out of there, or will more planes be going? And the Afghan, those folks that took over, they've got all the equipment, all the buildings. They don't have to try to put nothing back together. There was no fighting. Nothing's torn down as such. What happens with that type of scenario, Leo?
Well, I don't know, Billy. We'd have to see. Again, all this is first instance stuff, man. We got no precedent for this. This is the closest precedent we have to this in Vietnam. And Vietnam is doing fine. So I'm assuming that the Afghans will do fine, too, after all this is over. Just get all our people out of there. That's all I want.
I just got a question for you, Leo. When did you become so optimistic in most all circumstances or situations and such? And I'm going to go back to you being that Panther, being dissatisfied. What happened? Age? Wealth?
Yeah. You go through a few things, Billy, and you realize that you're not in charge of the world. This is God's world, and so I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. So I try to maintain my optimism for mankind that one day we will repent.
Okay, so that's the newer, fresher, more wiser.
No,
Leo.
but I'm still a warrior now. Don't get me wrong. There's injustices in the world, and I'm going to fight those injustices just like I've always done.
Okay, well, I just wanted to know because, it's not that you are any different, but I want to know, I want folks to know that we hear one point, but don't be surprised when you hear this man come at you a little bit different, but because he's a sensei in terms of passing this information down to us, to the younger folks is what I'm saying, Leo. It's all good. Change is good, not a problem. So go ahead and explain to us what you feel is going on with Afghanistan and that they may matriculate and be okay.
Yeah, well, first of all, we're at the end of an era, and I hope this era is the end of America's imperialism. I think that we can go around the world with our military and just take over anybody's country and make them behave the way we want to. I mean, they've been trying to make us black folks behave like white folks for 400 years now, and they haven't made it.
All right. So, Michelle, and
Yes.
anyone else who would like to call in, you can call and make that call, make that conversation any way you want to do. They're talking about, I'm skipping, they're talking about the Social Security is running out.
You know what? Personally, and I haven't done my research, so let me say this first. I haven't done my research. However, I'm getting close to that age, but not getting close because they keep pushing the number up. When people die suddenly, they don't collect Social Security, am I correct? Nor can their family collect the Social Security that they paid into. And we've had so many deaths, according to the CDC and the government and the governor and all of that. People have died with COVID, young and maybe a little bit older, that never collected Social Security. So how are you lying to me, telling me that we're running out unless you are mismanaging, using the funds for something else?
Well, let me give you a quickie real quickly. The Social Security under pressure. Social Security and Medicare, the government's two biggest benefit programs, remain under intense financial pressure with the retirement of millions of baby boomers and a devastating pandemic putting increased pressures on the two programs' finances. A report from the program's trustees released Tuesday moved up by 1 year the dates for the depletion of Social Security reserves, now projecting that Social Security will be unable to pay full benefits starting in 2034 instead of 2035. Now, Medicare is still expected to exhaust its reserves in 2026, the same date estimated last year. The finances of both programs have been significantly affected by the pandemic and the recession of 2020, the trustee says. That is to you to understand exactly what's going on with your Medicare and that Social Security money. Some of you guys are looking saying, well, I may not get this Medicare and that Social Security. That's true. Terrible thing.
Wow.
What's your take on that?
You talking to me?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
still think they're stealing the money. They're funneling. They've collected more money than the people have. I mean, I have members in my family that worked for 40 years, died of a sudden heart attack. They never one day in their life collected Social Security. So where did that money go?
Okay. Leo, California, they're talking about making some changes at the top, at the governor's mansion. Long time ago, when we was doing our programs, we talked about the recall, and the people was putting together the petitions to get the recall. And you had some thoughts then, and they are saying right now that Governor Newsom is in deep, deep trouble. So what is your evaluation at this date, sir?
Well, just between you and I don't want the whole world to know this, so just keep this between you and us. Is that
Wait a minute, you don't fog up my glass.
you want people to run scared, especially when you got a off-season event. If they used to having a birthday party at a certain time, and you tell them, well, you're gonna die, so we better try to get you a birthday party ahead of time. You want to make sure that all the friends know about it so they can come. So you got to
but Leo,
put out an alarm.
I'm cutting you in because, Leo, the factual matter is that they're saying that if Gavin Newsom does not get how many percentage points, that he will no longer be the governor, regardless of if he doesn't have to win. I mean, the other person does not have to win.
Well, look, it's set up this way. You got one question. Do you want to recall the governor? My answer is no.
Your answer don't
So
count.
I'm
Wait. At this point, the people, we're going with the fact that they're saying there is a recall. And they got almost a million plus people who have signed this petition. I don't want to stay in an argument of perspective. I'm saying let's get the facts and move on. That you've got almost X amount of people. They're saying that right now the person, Larry Elders, is 1 percentage point, quote, behind Gavin Newsom. And if Gavin Newsom does not get at least 50% of the votes, regardless of those who said, I want to recall or don't want to recall, the bottom line is if he doesn't get at least 50% of the votes, the next person, regardless, will become the governor. Now tell me if that's true or not. I believe that's what they said.
Yeah, but again, you got to remember what is being done. See, there's 2 votes you got to take. The first question is, do you want to recall the governor? If 51% of the people say yes, then the governor be recalled.
No.
If 51% of the people say no, then the governor won't be recalled, and there is no second question.
The question there was if the governor does not receive 50 to 51%, he will be considered defeated.
Well, again, see, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to what...
It's very simple.
Okay.
Do you want to recall the governor?
Why
If 51% of 40 million people say no, then the thing is over, period. But if 51% say yes, then that means the governor loses his office. Then you go to the second question. Who would you like to replace him? Now, of the 43 people that are running, you could get 10% of the vote and be the top winner. And therefore, you become the governor with only 10% of the vote of the people that voted, because they voted for the other 90% of the votes went to the other 42 people.
You went to the river, but that's what I said.
So the reason why they're saying, first of all, they're saying the governor is winning on the recall. That is, nobody wants to recall him. He's up at about up to about 60% there.
Okay.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. I would say to you, and I'm going to move on because Michelle, I watched her last week, watching her, listening to you and I go over about the Raiders, etc. Michelle, you could step in. Remember now, you're on the conference line, and sometimes when boys and men get to talking that boys and men conversational style, step in.
I'll come in and be the referee.
No. What you do is you take it and say that game is over. Here's where we're going now. Okay?
Right.
Because me and Leo, we're fun. We have fun doing our conversations that way. And we're on TV. We shouldn't play it out that way. Leo, you're correct. I was doing some what I called letting other folks who have questions about how this works so that we can bring it out two ways. And thank you very much for doing that. Michelle,
Yes.
we have this problem with the schools. So we're talking about, I mean, they're talking about throughout the nation, they're talking about masks are being mandated in some parts of our nation, schools, and others saying it's an option, and they're now.
Okay. So let me tell you what it is.
Okay.
I still have grandchildren in the elementary schools and in the high school. I told my personal daughter, do you love your children? Do you want them to grow up and be the best that they can be? And do you want to be a proud mother? Yes. Put a mask on those babies and teach them to keep that mask on until they get back safe inside your home.
Yes.
What I have also found out, this thing is also kind of airborne. You would have heard it on CNN or any of the other news things. We have these partitions up. You're saying if a student or staff, anybody sees that those germs are caught on those petitions. So now I hope that they have money to make sure that they're white.
Michelle.
Anyhow,
Michelle.
Donald Trump's people
Michelle.
are the one that don't want to wear the mask.
Okay,
'cause
Michelle.
They have civil liberties.
Hold on, Michelle.
Yeah.
Your phone, for whatever, is sometimes it's kind of fading in and fading out a little bit. And the things you're saying, I don't want you to miss a word. So
Okay.
for the things that
Can
you
you
said,
hear me now?
I can hear you now. And so would you repeat about the last minute of the conversation, please?
Okay. Do you love your children? The answer is yes. Make them wear a mask. It's airborne. Until you get them safe, wear your mask.
Mm-hmm.
The Trumper people are saying that we are impeding on their civil rights. They should have a right not to wear. Well, you got a right to die, but don't infect the rest of the people that want to live and be happy.
That's right. That's right.
Because I don't know any parent that want to suffer a death of a child. So wear the mask. But you're right. The other people are, and they can be black or white. I'm just saying other people think that we are impeding on their civil liberties. No, this is a health pandemic. We've never gone through this before. If the CDC and the World Health Organization says wear a mask, please do.
Yep, just that mask. And, you know, it's a thing that, Leo, when you are, as a senior who've been having your injections, etc., when you go out, I'm not sure how often you go out or what is your routine, but when you go out, are we having situations, this is a question I should ask for all of our seniors. All of our seniors, I should be asking this question at this point real quickly, and Michelle as well as yourself. Are you having a situation now where you kind of looking at young folks with a third eye? That is, you may love the youngsters and love kids, or etc. Excuse me, Miss Eastside, love youngsters, but you do know and you're aware of what they're saying about the unvaccinated children and what they potentially can do and how this is transmitted to potentially the seniors, etc. What is it, Leo, that you think of when you see young folks or you're around young folks shopping or grocery shopping or out doing whatever you may be doing? What is your thought on that?
Well, I'm fortunate. I don't have to go out because I've got two grown sons here living with me, and they go out and do all the shopping and everything. But as they tell me that everybody's out there wearing the mask and everything because they won't let you in the grocery store unless you got a mask on. And so I don't know what's happening out in other places. When I did go out and spend the whole day out for some time, I was in Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz is a college town, and everybody was walking around downtown. Very few people had masks on.
You
But I
say
had mine
you say
on.
very few people had a mask on?
Right, a lot of young people. I'm saying that,
Yes.
town full of young people because it's a college town.
Right.
And I
So,
could see them walking down the street and going about life the way they
okay.
would
Michelle,
normally do it.
okay. Michelle, what is your thoughts?
Well, as a parent, mom, educator around children all the time,
Yes.
I try to educate them as well. Well, I haven't been in touch with the parents because we were all home, but I just try to explain to kids because, Bill, you got to understand there are mixed messages out there. Some of teenagers that are vaccinated think they don't have to wear a mask because they got the shot. So you have to, if you dare to tell them. But as a teacher, you still get pink eye, you still get ringworm. You know the kids are transferring things. You catch a flu. So you know that that's a catalyst is what I'm trying to say. So for me, I would rather try to explain, or if I have like for our schools, they're going to type up information that the children can understand. So no, I'm not afraid of the kids, and I understand what you're saying. With me in contact, they could possibly pass on the virus, but there are still other things that they pass on. So I'm a God-fearing woman, and I just think God got me.
Yes.
I feel like I'm protected.
Yes, yes. And, it's the thing of when you were talking about those, how the COVID is placed on those plastics dividers, etc. I feel that as you see now, I'm in the studio, and the studio has all of the anti-COVID situation going on around us. Everything is all clean and everything. The process is that I just got to practice that. Michael Jackson wore his mask over his nose when he was having his operations and stuff because he knew everything was weak. And so me going through life, etc., your mouth brings a whole lot of stuff in. Your nose got a hair nose. People say, "Oh, you need to cut your nose and hair, and etc." Yeah, okay,
No.
you do. Say, what did you say? No, but you got hair. That's a protector. Your nose hairs are protectors.
Right.
Your mouth takes everything in. Everything in. So if there's anything missed, and you open, you're around, and you're out here, guess what? It comes to your mouth.
It comes to your mouth, and your tongue used to be the protector. But with people who may have a compromised immune system, wear the mask.
Yes.
Put on that barrier to be safe. You don't want to get sick, trust me.
And I'm going to tell you, I'd want to be on TV looking like
Pull up from the floor up.
I take my mask off right now. I took my mask down is what I was doing, Michelle. Leo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I took my mask down to show him that I haven't changed up that much, but this is just the process of saying I'm rolling the dice and I'm blowing on them real hard. Keep me safe. Keep me safe. Hit it. Who? Safe, Billy. Okay. And you never know. Do all that and you still have a problem. So we're just doing the best we can, folks. Now, a little something else that goes on is, Michelle,
Yes.
help us to understand a little bit about this politics in Detroit. We are having we've got, what, 9, Leo, I guess, was that Leo gone or Michelle?
I'm still here.
Okay,
But
somehow.
let me cut you off.
Okay.
Oh no, let me let you finish, and then I'll tell you what to do.
No, go ahead and cut me off. I want you to see, this is what
Okay.
I want you to do
Are
that.
you talking of our Detroit City Council members?
I'm talking about first, I was declaring hold on just a moment.
Hello?
Leo, is that you, Leo?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. You're back live. You're on the conference. What I was doing there was asking about first establishing, because remember, we have folks that are listening and they have to be brought along and shown by visual what we're talking about. So we're talking about the Detroit City Council. How many folks serve on the Detroit City Council with 2 at-large council persons and 7 by districts? And with that number of council people, we have Scott Benson, that's had his house raided. We have Janae Ayers had her house raided. We have Andre Spivey, and I want to apologize to my audience for being the brother that I was and taking this family and saying all of the wonderful, great things. And because, as Michelle says, if you're guilty, you're guilty. So you turn in those cards of whatever we want to give to you. You're guilty, and I'm embarrassed. But Andre Spivey, and then you have, who else is that? Gabe Leland. And is there one more? Michelle?
Not yet.
Hmm?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not
You
yet?
covered it. Not yet.
Okay, let's do it again. We've got one of the persons that's serving as a city council person at large.
Yes.
We've got a city council person, Scott Benson. We have Gabe Leland, who has now resigned, indicted.
Yep, convicted.
We
Right.
have Andre Spivey. Andre Spivey. We have,
Under investigation.
okay, so we have Janae Ayers. So we got those four. And we also have Raquel, who has let you know she's not going to run for a second term. And you also have Brenda Jones, who has let you know she's not going to run for a second term. I mean, not a second term, but another term. So how many council persons potentially could be in flux? Seats could be in flux.
6, I believe. That's 6.
6 out of 9 potential seats can be in flux. And they're
Yes.
saying, well, okay, the ones who are being investigated, they're going to serve, and they have a great potential to potentially be voted back in.
Correct.
Now, Leo,
Yes.
what is, from an outside person looking at that scenario, to the best that you can recall right now, what is your thoughts about the politics of Detroit?
Well, as a West Coast person, I don't get out to the other side of the country very often, but all I know is the news that I generally hear from the older East Coast cities is that they are entrenched in corruption. They have always been. And it's just a matter of getting in the office, and somebody is going to end up going to jail before it's over. I don't know. We don't seem to have much of that out here in California because we have a city manager form of government that was trying to take all the power from the elected officials, and so maybe that's working for our little small towns. We don't have a city manager form of government here in Oakland, and we haven't had anybody be in corruption. But if I think about corruption in the East, I think New York, Chicago, and Detroit in that order. Maybe Philadelphia every once in a while, but I'm sure Philadelphia might be more corrupt than any of the cities that I mentioned. But it's just saying in terms of how we get it out here in the West, New York, the big city bosses, Detroit, the big city bosses, and the Chicago, the totally corrupt system.
Okay.
At least
Now,
in Detroit, you say you got some union power and everything back there that shares in the corruption, but I don't know about Philadelphia and New York.
Well, let me let Michelle step in because Michelle this is her beat, Detroit. What is your thoughts, Michelle? Excuse me, Michelle Broten.
He's talking about the ones that they took down with the UAW. So sad. But so I have a different point of view, being also a precinct delegate.
Come on now.
Being a precinct delegate and staying informed. There are invisible people that want to make the politicians in play look bad. So it comes like this to regular folks, to my neighbor next door. They want to make sure that you say black people can't run nothing. See, they crooked. You see what I mean? There's a reason why right now we're in the middle of voting for new council people or returning the council people, and now indictments are coming. If you knew now, you knew last year, you knew the year before. Also, my point of view is just me.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we learn from the past? You know this one went to jail. You know that one went to jail. People are looking at you. You're under a microscope. And I'm sorry, you taking $1,000 or you taking $30,000 is not going to make your life better. Period. So the others, we don't know the charges, although it's corruption, money, taking bribes, whatever. If it's true, shame on you. If they got you, why haven't you learned? Because all of these people are supposed to be able to read. They were educated at some point. But sometimes we don't learn better, so we don't do better.
Let me ask. Okay. Let me ask you a question here, real quickly, so folks can understand that when we say if we knew better, we would do better. That's a great saying.
Correct.
However, help me understand this, Miss Broughton. Under the administration of before Kwame Kilpatrick, that would have been Archer.
Yes.
Did we have any council persons that were got in trouble?
Of course.
Under
of course.
Okay, now under the administration of Kwame Kilpatrick, did we have council persons that got in trouble?
Yes, maybe not arrested or taken to jail, but they wanted Kwame so bad they let everybody else go.
Well, hold up now.
I'm
sorry. That was the folks, when you say, was that the group that was under with Charles Pugh?
Charles Pugh.
And
yeah, he had other issues.
With Charles Pugh, and also one other council person also on that time period also had a problem. So what I'm trying to do is say that for whatever the reason, the understanding about if we knew better, we would do better. But I tell you, folks, I've done history on Detroit, and I can say this. Every administration that was in the white folks, the mayor or folks in that realm, I'm going back to 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
Every administration had a problem. And for folks talking about the population of Detroit, every mayor that have come from going backwards from the mayor you have today all the way back 5 to 8 different mayors, Detroit has lost population under every mayor.
That's true. That is true.
Okay.
And I guess sometimes greed is the devil to them all. You know, they can't catch me, you know.
Did we ever have now the thing about us now is, where are we headed in terms of going back to schools? Where are we headed in terms of employment? They are now having the fact that the NFL is going through a process with if you don't take your shots, their protocol with that. And one of the fallouts is Cam Newton. Cam Newton has been cut from the New England Patriots, even though he was scheduled to be their starting quarterback, because he's not taking the injection. And that particular organization says they want all of their players to take the injection. So how is this going to mandate? We have 4 soccer players, white girls. They refuse to take to get the shot in the arms. And a court has overruled the school and said they're going to be able to play. Leo?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, are you following that?
Following what?
Okay. Michelle?
Yes, I was following that. And also with the little blurb, the government, whoever it was, I forget what agency, if it's a private corporation or company, they can make those mandates. And also, NFL has troubles, and I have other issues with the NFL. The white girls you got to probably look in their background, their mama, their daddy, their uncle. Somebody is a judge, and they came to their rescue. And, you know, judges call other judges and call favors and make rulings on how they see fit.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, that's what it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Family, we're going to, in a minute or two, I believe, we're going to prepare to go to a commercial break. But I do want you to understand that what Michelle just stated is what we're talking about. And all of these going through cases, etc., especially dealing with these young folks, you have to look at who is the mama, who is the daddy, who is the granddaddy, who is the uncle or the auntie or the grandmother, and their relationships with the folks of authority, the judges. You know, everybody in all organizations have a good old boy club.
That's
How
right.
about that? And so, family, you stay there, and we're going to prepare to go to a commercial break. And after the commercial break, we'll be back with more of the Talk Beat Jones. And we're going to place the number on when we come back. So in case you want to join us, you're able to join the Talk Beat Jones. Remember, we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. There's a repeat broadcast. That repeat broadcast is from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock on Sunday nights. Tell your friends. Share the program, like the program, love the program. And remember, it's on the Roku, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Channel 90, 15.2. And remember, our repeat broadcast is on 15.2. So, family, we'll be back right after these commercial announcements. Stay with us, please. Talk Beat Jones and
Hi, this is LaWanda,
This is RJ Watkins.
coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you, because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
There's been a lot of hesitancy in our communities of color regarding vaccination, and it's extremely important that our communities of color don't get left behind. We know that people of color are more heavily affected by COVID-19.
We were dying at higher rates and getting sicker at higher rates in other communities, and we need to protect ourselves.
I urge everyone to be vaccinated, especially my brothers and sisters. We just don't want you to be left behind.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and All right, this is the Talk Beat Jones. Once again, I am Billy E. Jones. And you know, family, part of the understanding about the Talk Beat Jones is we are going to be bringing to you that conversation about your health. You know, folks who know me know that I am a health specialist, and we are going to start bringing you back some information about your health. The COVID has come through, closed down the station, closed down the programs. We're starting somewhat over, but we're taking time putting things in slowly as we're getting things, the timing on things and getting things updated. And but one thing we want you to understand is we're going to talk to you about your health. We're going to bring you the products that's going to help you get stronger, healthier, to help you get through this, not just through this COVID situation, but what is good for you, period. But what is good for you, period. That's what's important. And we're going to bring that to you on the Talk Beat Jones. But one of the things that we're going to bring to you from the station, and you hear Malik Shabazz talk about this all the time. And if you've seen Malik Shabazz, who's gone from almost 400 pounds to under three something plus, 325, 34, something like that. But he's down, way down, 50 to 70 pounds. And you know what's helped him, gave him his marker? This lemon burn. That's right, the lemon burn. And with this lemon burn, it's the number one. It gives you it's the stomach fat burner. With the black seed oil and the rose hips, it detox, suppress the appetite. It burns the fat. It stimulates the digestion, safely decreases the abdominal visceral fat. Family, this is that tool. We have to have that something that jumpstart to get us going, to make us feel good. Something gives us something we say, I'm in the health groove now. Michelle,
Yes,
are you in a health groove now?
I am in the health groove now. That lemon burn is so good.
So good?
It is good warm and it's good cold.
Yes, yes. And you know, it gets you, when you're taking that lemon burn, it reboots your brain. Reboots your brain.
Your brain.
Tell them about it, Michelle.
It starts my day, and then I have some at the end of the day. And you have that, it makes you want to do more. So if you didn't walk before, now you're walking. If you just did a little bit, you want to do a little bit more of whatever your exercise ability would let you do.
And that's one thing that we're going to be talking to you about is your exercise ability. Leo Brazil.
Yes, sir.
I talked to you, and you know, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, late wife. Would you tell them what you told me about what your wife used to do in the morning times, please, sir?
Oh, well, yeah, she used to have, there was a program on television called Jazzercise.
No, called Jonesicide, Jazzercise, and other folks.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. There was some other folks that had a Jazzercise.
No, I'm with Jonesicide.
But
I'm just
my
having
wife,
fun with you.
She got up and listened to Jonesicide.
I was having fun with you, Leo.
I know, but I was having fun with you too when you guys were talking about. I don't know what that drink is you're talking about that gets the weight off.
But
you.
wait! Before we get that, what I'm doing here is talking about the fact that Michelle is doing the lemon burn.
Yes.
And I am Billy E. Jones, Jonesicide, a fitness master, one of the first fitness dance persons in America back in the early 70s. So we are going to bring these things to you. And I have another little something we're going to bring to you later on. But first of all, Michelle is issuing a challenge on the lemon burn. Tell them about it, Michelle.
Yes, my challenge to my family members is to purchase the lemon burn like I have, and we're going to do what it calls for. So I do maybe about 6 ounces in the morning and 6 ounces at night. But what I'm trying to say, family, is we have to move. So that's why I said whatever your exercise level will let you do. So say 3 weeks ago I could only do 10 jumping jacks. Now I'm up to 25 without being out of breath.
Yes.
Without being out of breath.
Oh, you serious?
And yes, I'm so serious. So you have to move your body and you have to take the lemon burn. And it'll work. If nothing else, it'll clean you out.
Mm-hmm.
What is a part of you lugging around all that weight? I'm sorry. I just had to be for real.
Oh, and you got to be for real because, see, people can identify that when you talk about the fact that when you get that beautiful car, it's beautiful. Everything's running great. Got your tire. Everything's running great. Don't change your oil and find out what happens to that beautiful car. It's the same thing about what's happening inside of your body. If you are not replenishing and replacing stuff in your body, it's wearing out. It's wearing out. It is blocking stuff so that other good stuff can't pass through where it's supposed to get to places it need to get to in your body.
Right.
So we at this time are saying, do you have to allow yourself to just deteriorate? Do you have to allow yourself to just deteriorate? No, you don't. No, you don't. So what we're going to do again is what Mr. Leo Brazil was saying as we was having fun, is that his wife, as a television person, would take myself to the TV studio every morning, because I also was the engineer technician for other shows, and I would start off the day's programming physically doing the program for the community and for the world, because we were on the internet as well, and do the program live. So they got up. I am a person that I loved Jack LaLanne. I want to be the black Jack LaLanne, and I was accomplished that goal. And so I'm happy that Mr. Leo Brazil reported that his wife enjoyed that we presented from Soulview Television to the community and to the world, Billy E. Jones, Jones-a-Size, live. So all you have to do is get up, and I didn't talk to you through it. I actually went through the Jones-a-Size program live every morning. Every morning.
She couldn't ever find that any of that horse and cow sheep dewormer that
you talking about
that everybody's recommending.
You talking about the lemon burn?
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about that people today talking about taking horse dewormer. You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah, well.
That's the Republican health plan they've been promising.
We're not even bringing that up.
They're not a horse.
Wait.
And what's good for the horse is not good for a human body.
Thank you. So we're staying with the fact that we're talking about what's good for us, not the goofy gump that I know other folks are doing. Some folks even shot themselves up with that stuff that President Trump told them to shoot himself up with. So we know that there are people that got different mentalities, but we're talking about the people who have the ability to make the decisions, and all people can make that decision, and we're reaching out to those and said, here's what we have to offer. All the other stuff I'm not really interested in. Because when I listen to people talking about the COVID, and I hear the information that's being given out about the COVID and the different situations, I ask the question, how many people are watching WWE? Now you say, I don't know nothing about that doggone WWE, but you know what? That's one of the biggest sports activity going, period. And when you watch that WWE, that's the World Wrestling Association Entertainment, they do not have the mask on with all those folks cheering for those wrestlers. They do not have any mask on, basically. And they're going to towns coming to you in an unmasked situation. Yes, sir.
I mean, I told you, man, the data speaks for itself. There's 330 million people in America, and 1/3 of them are out to lunch.
That's right.
The elevator just does not go to the top.
Michelle, you and Leo take this conversation. I'm going to sit it out.
330 million people, that a third of them, that's 110 million people. So I don't find it odd that out of 110 million people, you find 50 million people that would drink Clorox.
That's right, and bleach.
Now, when we're talking about the situation about those numbers, 100 and some million people, folks, and we're talking about the increases, the surges, etc. What I'm speaking of and what we're talking about is, how is it happening? How is it happening? Because I want you to see that the pods are out there and they're going through making that money, making these entertaining wrestlers bigger, making Ed McMahon a larger, bigger billionaire. Of course, President Trump did put his wife as a part of his team. Wonder why. But the thing is, folks, I'm saying you're quoting the numbers correctly, somewhat, Leo, and I'm saying in a smaller portion, these numbers are gathering. I'm just giving you an event. I'm not talking about the basketball or football or baseball or rugby or soccer or hockey. I'm talking about WWE wrestling that we know people are watching, going and attending, and they're not being forced to wear a mask. I see the programs. I see them on TV.
And they're going to die.
So you can see all of the folks out there. And so once those folks leave and go home, go back to their jobs, go back to their schools, go back to whatever they're doing, heads of the corporations, et cetera,
Super spreaders. That's what they are.
Talk to them, Michelle.
Spreaders.
Going to kill other people.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing. You're carrying that disease to other people, and that's all we're asking you to do is put a mask on, and you telling me that I'm violating your rights?
Okay, but you got this WWE channel.
Right. And WWE says if you disagree with somebody, punch them in the face. Well, if you come around me and you ain't got no mask on, and I'm telling you, you're going to get punched in your face because you're telling me you're a WWE person. You don't understand nothing but violence.
Okay, but the question I'm asking again is, we now are able to see that the genie is back out of the bottle.
Yeah.
These folks who can make money are going to make money. You see, when you look at the entertainment, it's just busting out the seams again with all these venues. People saying, I don't care. I want to get out. I want to be entertained. I want to have fun. I want to go out. I want to be with my friends. I want to see the other friend I'm not supposed to see. I want to do all the good things I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And I don't give a care about the mask.
And 15 days, all of y'all will be in the hospital on the way to the morgue.
But here's the deal, is that you wear your mask. Folks saw Michelle when she came to the studio last week. She had her mask, and I had my mask. And that is the way, that's the new norm, folks. If you're going to go ahead and say, well, I got sick with the COVID, but it was just a little pinch because I had my shots and I used my mask, and so I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. And that's what we want to try to get. That's the new normal, is to get something that was like the flu and you get over it. That's what you have to do. And you might as well go ahead and I say, people say, well, how in the heck can this man sit and say you might as well go ahead? I'm talking to the folks who are of same mind as I, and to those who are not of the same mind, I'm saying, take consideration, because as you go through life and you're losing family members and you're losing special friends, and I have to watch you on TV as you're saying, oh, I should have took the shot. It's not the answer. It's not the pandemic. It's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to save every life. But it's going to reduce the amount of losses. Help me out, Michelle.
Yes. All of what you said, we already have the facts. Fact check it. We already have data. That's why they're saying wear the mask. The mask is the best protection and a barrier. And when I'm in the school, I have a mask and a shield because I want to be safe.
When you said a mask and a shield, guess what? When you said a mask and a shield, guess what?
What?
For my audience around the world, I want to show that I'm putting on my shield. I'm putting on my shield, okay? I have on my mask, I have on glasses, and now I'm going to put on my shield. And now, just so you can see that I do have my shield along with my mask. Go right ahead, Michelle. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. I'll take Leo. Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, Billy, that this is something that we're going through, and if you project ahead, you say we beat it. That's one option, and it goes away, and we can go back to normal, or it sets in and we can control it, but it's going to come back every year like a flu, so we have to take the shots of recurring, right?
Right.
Or just plain and simple that we're not going to beat it, and this stuff is going to continue to kill people and mutate. That's the mutation part of it, when another strain comes along even stronger than this Delta.
And that's the problem. That's really the situation. Going back, funny style, to politics, Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay, politics. How are we looking in terms of the various races? And because you are using the names necessarily of the persons that are running, and it's not an endorsement, it's just an understanding of who may be in the races and what may be happening, we can do it that way. And you don't have to go in depth.
Okay, so for citywide, we still have Janae Ayers, we have Mary Waters, we have Homer Young Jr., and we have Nicole Small.
Okay.
And for the race where Benson is caught up in, they meaning the city clerk, are going to allow write-ins. So I don't have all the names of the write-ins yet, but they're going to allow write-ins to run in that race now because he was unchallenged.
Okay.
So what I would say to the family is there's a lot of hyperbole out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm not going to accuse anybody, but just do your homework and talk to the people. And let me just do as a disclaimer. I want the people accused to come out and make a statement. Tell your family what's really going on. Because it also could be a bunch of lies. You know they don't want us in power. You know they know in numbers we don't come out and fight for too much. So stop. Change that. Let's go out there, get the truth, and I just hope that, as you know, maybe certain people, tell them to make a statement or get their lawyer and have a lawyer make a statement, because it's an attack on all of us. They just happen to be in the limelight. They're attacking all of us.
But who are you talking about?
I'm talking about smart, black, upcoming people that want to fight for the community. My brothers and sisters, they are attacking African-American politicians.
Okay, but if the politicians don't do wrong, you see, when they say I was set up, let me let an expert speak on that type of scenario, and I hope that he'll take it and do it from a lawyer's perspective. Mr. Leo,
Yes,
when your clients come to you and they say I was set up,
yeah,
and they got the evidence, they got all they need, but the person said I was set up.
yeah.
But he, as a lawyer, he's going to tell you, but I did it. He's going to tell you, but I did it. I got 1 minute. I tell you what, let's refrain from doing it that way, and let's go through the process of letting you start saying your pleasantries, goodbyes.
Oh, it's time to say goodbye?
That's what I'm being told.
All right.
And
well,
I'm not, and what I do is I do what my directors tell me to do. Say what now?
I got the picture that Billy sent me with he and Michelle sitting there with their mask on, but I wish you would get Michelle to take the mask off so I could see what she looks like.
All right. Well, that's one of those things that she's told you. We are on television, and when she's here, she will have her mask, and I will have my mask. And thank you for that wish. Michelle, your conversation to the world, please.
To the world, stay safe, wear your mask, pay attention, do your fact checking, and I'll see you next week.
All right. And family, once again, I want to let you understand that you have been with the Talk Beat Jones. We are working for you, giving you that information, trying to give you the conversation. And people are saying, well, Billy, how can I reach you? Every Wednesday from 10 to 11 on TV 33 WHPR, Watkins Broadcasting. I am Billy Jones. Don't forget, we do have a repeat broadcast on Sunday from 8 to 9. We love you. We appreciate you. We respect you. Michelle, you want to say goodbye? Leo?
Goodbye, family.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
family. And Leo,
Bye.
one day I'll take my mask off.
Okay. Thank you, family. And I want to thank the engineers for their wonderful work today. Appreciate you. Love you. Bye-bye now. Have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And I